hit go live.
I think I've done it. I think we're live.
We're live.
Hi there, welcome to Global Gridwork Investigations with Missy Hill and Chloe Ariell. This is our very first show. Take it
Welcome
away.
to Galactic Earth Fusion, the show that discusses the normal, the paranormal, the natural, the supernatural, the organic to know the inorganic, the weird, the wonderful, all things outrageous, strange, upbeat, and cutting edge. Broadcasting to you live from the heart of the Blue Ridge Mountains in western North Carolina, land of the sky and Black Mountain. This is Missy. I'm broadcasting from Australia, from
Brisbane.
Brisbane, Australia. This is all about a Gridwork mission tonight and clearing. So, at least looking, psychic grid reading. So, we are waiting for some people to show up in the chat. I guess they're not here, so we're going to go ahead and get started anyway. So, we're going to take some deep breaths, and you can play your little bowl thingy again.
Yes, just a little thing. I don't know what you call this. Just to bring in some high vibrational energies, to lift the spirits to a higher vibrational. And I've got some sage here from America. Yay, when I was in the US last month. I'm just going to light some sage in my abalone shell. You can hear me okay? All good? Yep.
Are you able to upload pictures or you don't know? If
I'm not sure.
I'm going to just show this picture. Can you see this?
Yeah, I can see that.
Okay. I was going to go up here today to Mount Mitchell. I couldn't because of road closures due to Helene. So we're still going to use this as a reference point because we're going to think of ourselves as a bird and we're going to fly from this place. This is the highest point on the eastern seaboard, you know, east of the Rockies, east of the Mississippi, Mount Mitchell, that stands at 6,684 feet. So everyone in the audience, people that will be listening to this later, I want you to see yourself as a bird and just take some deep breaths. So you're up at Mount Mitchell, you're projecting your plasma body outside of yourself. You know, you're going to run some frequency up and down your body first, some pink fire from the earth core and some blue ice frequencies from down above, and clear your physical body and your energetic light body system. And then you're going to mix these frequencies together in what below your sternum and heart chakra, and you're going to condense it and you're going to make an orb. And then that orb, I want that orb to become like a light mint green, kind of like the green in our names. And they're going to project that out of the top of your head and take like the form of a bird. And that bird is going to fly over the mountains, looking down all over the mountains and to the Atlantic Ocean. So it's going to go from the mountains. There's a trail in western North Carolina called the Mountains to Sea Trail. We're going to take the Mountains to Sea Trail and we're going to go to the sea. And we're going to go towards Virginia Beach. And at Virginia Beach is where the ARE is, Edgar Cayce Center. We're going to go over there. There's a port in Baltimore. That's where the cruise ships leave. When we do this tour, when we go to Greenland, we're going to be going out of that port of Baltimore. And then from there, we're going to fly back in and you're going to take a look at the Chesapeake Bay. So as a bird, you're going to look down on these grids, the Chesapeake Bay, the Potomac River, and to the west of that, to Gettysburg, and to the south, you're going to be looking at Manassas, and to the north of it, you can see Washington, D.C., you can see the Washington Monument. And you're just going to start to look at these and look at these maps that I sent you. And I can post them in the chat for people to look. And you're going to feel from above where you would want to actually drop in. Where does your bird self, your higher self, your angelic self feel like it wants to land and drop in and have a deeper look at the waters around. The Potomac River is an area that's used for drinking water, so that's very significant. The Potomac River flows into the Chesapeake Bay, which goes into the Atlantic Ocean. Oh, oh.
Let's bring in some rainbow energy as well from Mother Earth. Beautiful, also.
Bring in the rainbow. Yeah. Call on our elements. Since we're working with birds, I feel like the spirit of the crow. Crows have been coming to me lately. All kinds of different birds.
Yeah.
I'm seeing small little birds too. I'm seeing the energy of hummingbird. I'm seeing the energy of a cardinal. I'm seeing the energy of the wren, which actually the wren is the state bird of Western North Carolina. And I'm actually pulling a card, which is in my room deck.
Getting the feeling of an eagle, like flying on the back of an eagle.
Definitely, an eagle, absolutely.
Yeah. So, welcome to anyone who's just dropped in. Hi, Tiffany. How are you?
Hi, Tiffany. And let's give a shout out to Tiffany for helping me with all my AI thumbnails, as well as the one who helped put together this mission, because she said, have you ever been to the Potomac River? And then when she said it, I said, oh my God, this is a necessary piece for the 4th of July. I don't know what happened to Ariell.
Sorry, I'm back.
But here is.
I pressed the wrong button.
Okay, this is Othala, which is the power of inheritance, inherited property, land, possession, home, roots, kin, fastening, relations, contact with the forebears, material prosperity, acquisition of property, scrutiny, protection, harmony with the relationship and family, and contact with the forebears. The negative of this is useless hoarding of possessions, which is what we want to clear. Hunger for power, uprooting, inability to let go, meanness of inheritance and arguments and nostalgic daydreaming, racism and megalomania, which is what we have to clear in Washington, D.C. This is
exactly. Oh my God, absolutely.
We have permission to go forward. We do.
Yes.
This is our permission to go forward. I'm getting chills. And Chloe, I just want you to drop in where you feel you want to drop in. I'm getting the river. I'm getting around the river, and a song comes to me that I want to sing as you look at the river.
Yeah.
The river, it is flowing, and growing. The river, it is flowing down to the sea. Mother carries me, child I will always be. Mother carry me down to the sea.
Beautiful. Oh my God. That's so lovely. Hi, Terry.
Before the Civil War, before the Revolutionary Wars, these were all Indian lands. And the event that I'm going to be doing tomorrow at the Center for Spiritual Living actually has a tree that's 365 years old, that was around the time of the Cherokee and the Cree. And it talks to the tree down in South Carolina, which is the angel tree on James Island. I'm feeling there's an old tree somewhere in that area. So I want you to just drop
Yeah.
in and look around, and I'm going to see what the oldest tree near the Potomac River is.
I've also I can hear Native American sounds and singing. So I'm going to like acknowledge the Potomac people of the area. There's also
Yes.
a few others, Piscataway people, the Powhatan and Nahochtunk people of the area, and asking and stating what we're going to be doing there, and stating what the clearings and the energy, and moving the energy into from dark to positive, and taking out the old energy of the swampy power and control that was there, and moving it into the light. I don't know if you want me to show you. I've got an image that I
want to share this first before you do that. The oldest documented tree near the Potomac River is a 422-year-old southern red oak.
Yeah, wow. We can talk to the tree. We can connect into the southern red oak, and we can, because we can telepath. We can telepath with anything: rocks, trees, water. And so I think that's what you're stating, is to drop in and have a conversation, with the river and the tree. Yeah, perfect.
Here's the tree.
Excellent. Okay, let me just drop in. Just bring a whole bunch of light in above. How? That's what I'm getting, a how. And there's a lot of light coming out from the tree. And the tree states that the tree will help us with the light, with bringing in the light. And there's just waves of light coming from the tree now. And excuse me if I cough. I'm just, when I cough, it's like clearing. I'm just going to bring also just two, so it's not all running through my body, because we're going to be working with the elements of the area. So we're asking the Fae, and thank you to the tree for helping us, and the water spirits and the rock spirits and the Native American spirits of the land, and any other elements of the highest volition that want to work with us to clear and help bring forth light. And also I've got told now to also thank the viewers that are looking now, because as you are viewing and hearing this, you are also participating in the clearing too, no matter where you are in the world. Yeah. So there's a lot of light coming out from the tree. And I can see, now that I've said that, I can see a lot of the viewers in spirit, like holding hands with the Native American people, and we're all dancing together like in a big rainbow tribe, is what I'm hearing. Fantastic. And that's what the tree is. I can see the tree, and I can see all of us and all the people joining in now. And the ancestors as well. And I'm getting told too, don't forget the rocks and the crystals too, because I've got these crystals that are going, we'll help too, we'll help too. Perfect. So yeah. Yeah, very good.
This is Sophia, which is actually has mercury in this. I can't remember the name of it, but I use it to clear dark negative energies, warring Nazi
we need
timelines, because it has mercury in it. Yes.
I can see that.
She's heavy. She's very heavy. And I want to share this. So the Potomac River is a traditional homeland of several indigenous nations. The most prominent tribes historically are currently located along its bank: the Potomac Indian tribe of Virginia and the Piscataway, including Piscataway Conoy tribe of the Piscataway Indian Nation of Maryland. I remember I had friends that lived in Piscataway, New Jersey, so they were as far up as New Jersey too. I was getting the gentleness of this deer. We need to have the gentleness of the deer to do this mission. Their energy has to be.
It's a very important place for America because I don't know if you know, but like Pocahontas and John Smith. So Pocahontas was a part of the Potomac people.
Yes.
And so she was kidnapped in 1608 by John Smith. Yeah.
Yeah, and remember in the movie with The Night at the Museum with Ben Stiller, one of the exhibits had Pocahontas and told that story, but yet Teddy Roosevelt, which was another exhibit, was actually kind of in love with Pocahontas. Do you remember that movie?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's all the origin of that area has a lot to do with the foundations of America. So no wonder it's actually a really important area in regards to, you know, the origin point. So when you're doing healings with people, right, you go into the origin of the trauma. So this area, the origin of the trauma is all related to, you know, John Smith coming in and like kidnapping a young woman from a tribe to take as his wife, and then causing a lot of disruption in regards to the people there because they felt that she was a traitor because she went with him. That's the story that we get. But when we go and investigate, sometimes we get a bit of an angle on.
Well, what this feeds into other timelines, this feeds into actually Lemurian timelines with the forced breeder program, with Easter Island. Not that we're going to Easter Island, we're holding our focus over this, and yet while we hold our focus, we're able to split our focus and see that these patterns that are in the Atlantic are also bridging that rainbow bridge, that Bifrost energy, that Bifrost where we can look, have a look, and we see the same pattern. This gives us another piece for another time, which is to do this Pacific. It's to do coming from Australia, from Brisbane, and I've already looked at this grid line and how that even goes into Area 51 to Rachel, Nevada, Catalina Island and the Black Cube where you are. That's for another time, but that's all this war between the masculine and feminine, which also, hi Jay, which also, and there's an insect flying around. There's an insect. Also, so what's happening as we're holding this and looking at Pocahontas and John Smith, Agent Smith, we're also able to, again, look at the Bermuda Triangle. The Bermuda Triangle piece is the pyramids. There's pyramids in the Bermuda Triangle. That's all been weaponized, okay? It's been weaponized plasma. It's a divine feminine birthing center. It's a womb energy, a creational womb vortex. But it's been weaponized like the scorned woman, which is like Pele in Hawaii. So breathe in, breathe out, release that trauma. As I look down, I'm connecting in with Civil War energy. That's what I'm feeling. I'm feeling how the first shots of where I live part-time in South Carolina, which is where the first shots were fired at Fort Sumter. And how that started there, and some of the bloodiest battles that ever happened around the Potomac River, which was Gettysburg and the Battle of Bull Run.
Wow.
Gettysburg, actually, people have gotten film of seeing soldiers walking. It's held like a phantomal, something that plays as a record over and over again, like a skip in the record. It plays,
Yeah.
and we feed it with our thoughts because people want
Yeah.
to see ghosts. They want to see ghosts, so we keep it alive. We keep the story alive. We keep the memory alive.
Yeah.
I kept the memory alive every time I told the story in Haunted Asheville. My Haunted Asheville Ghost Tours, the Biltmore Village Mystery Tour, which is Joshua P. Warren's Haunted Asheville. That tour is no more because Hurricane Helene came in September of 2024 and cleared those grids and put a new story, a new trauma, a fresher acute wound. The wound to that area is now acute. It is not the chronic wound of the past. It takes precedence over the past story from 1916, the Great Flood of 1916, which was the flooding of the French Broad River, the Swananoa River, and the Catawba River. That was 108 years ago from when from 2024. So I tell this story because all around these areas it's haunted. It's haunted with ghosts. And what I'm seeing in the Potomac River, I'm seeing green goo. I'm seeing like ectoplasma, green goo from bog bodies, from dead soldiers, and beings that died, as well as back further.
Back
Indian
further.
tribes that fought.
And I'm going to interject there, Missy, because I've done, before you told me that we're going to be working on this river, Potomac, is that how you say it? Potomac.
Potomac. Yeah, another Indian
Potomac.
name. Yeah.
Potomac. Well, here we go. This is my image that I've done before going in, and this is the origin. So this is the energy. This is an American Indian man.
Ooh,
and that's the origin trauma. So before I realized the history of John Smith and Pocahontas, I had done this thinking this person here was a man on the ground, but they had a long hair. But I realized, I think that this is a woman. I think this may be Pocahontas. And this is the origin. This is like her being a traitor to the tribe. And look at the marshlands. So this is the core origin hurt and pain. So it's like when you get an origin pain, and look, there's so much information in that. So above this is the Civil War. This is all the people dying over the top. But we need to go to clear. You have to go to the core origin, right? So this is a tribal man here. It's very interesting because his hair is shaved, and he's just got like a clump of hair here, and there's feathers. So that is the core origin that we need to heal on the marshlands there. And when you understand John Smith and Pocahontas, it's like, betrayal is the word I'm getting, actually. And I've written here without even realizing, but what I did is 1600s. So this is when I do ghost clearings. I'll do an image of what is coming to me as a core origin hurt. It's betrayal. It's exactly what the card you pulled before, right? Power, control, corruption, and the core origin is this. And it is a woman. That's a woman. And I couldn't really get a view on, look at it. I've kind of done a blank.
That tree, 422 years old, would take us to 1604.
Yeah. That is amazing, isn't it? So that little sapling was there. So no wonder that sapling came in. There's a lot of light coming through there. So we're sort of setting up the scene here before we clear. We're kind of seeing what's the murkiness, what is it that needs to be cleared, right? So it's like remote viewing. So we go back into the image, right? And I can see there's so many little points in here. There's scarification. I've gone here, this man, and he's from, let me just double check where he's from. Is he Potomac people? Is he from the Potomac? Yes. And so I'm working with our guides, angels, and ancestors here. So I'm asking questions, and the Native American people, the tribal people, the origin of who this man is and why. I feel like an uncle name here. I want to say uncle, and it's revenge, and it's like, you betrayed us. There's a lot of hurt and actually a lot of hate and betrayal. That's what we need to clear. And is she dead? Is this Pocahontas? Oh my God. Yeah. So, and I can hear now that I'm talking, you went against our people. And why did she go against her people? If she was kidnapped, was she kidnapped? Yes. So how was she going against the people if she was kidnapped? No. She was kind. There's trading to do with the English and the Native Americans at this time. There's small tradings going on. So she's come, she's very young. She's like 12, 13. She's really super young. She's not like of age, you would say. She's about 13. I see her wearing buffalo skin, traditional dress, moccasins, and she's trading something small with, I feel like the soldiers, well, you could say the English, because they're wearing those old white, the white wigs, and she's gone into a tent, and he looks like what we call Captain Cook. It's about the same time, the guy who founded Australia, Captain Cook, and that's about the same time period. So she's trading small things with them, right? And that's how she's got to know. So why is there betrayal there?
And the treaty was 3 years old, because this was 1607.
Yeah. Wow. So it's interesting because this is the core origin image. So he's wearing, I've just now realized, a necklace, which is what she was trading, was jewelry, these small objects. It feels like beads and something small, like a bones that have been whittled away and made, and they're quite pretty actually. Oh, I can see it now, like so I can draw it, like little bears, and like cute little things that a girl would whittle away, and it's like good luck, or talismans of good luck, talismans, right? So she's trading her like creative things with these. I don't think she realizes the danger. There is a trade. There's trading that definitely goes on between the English there and the Native Americans. I can see rugs now. So there's rugs and beautiful designs. And they're worth a lot of money too. So that's how they're trading. What do they get back from it's not so, it's like, do they get money from them? Is it trade with money? Is that the money is returned? Okay, so yeah, they get money. So this is the beginning, Babylon, money comes in, it's, you don't want to say it's the source of all evil, but it's the start. So this is what she trades, these little small objects that she's made. She's whittled away out of bone. See the little bear? Little talismans like that. Yes, there's a lot here. Right? Hey, everyone that's turned up. Hi, Aussie Angie. She's in Las Vegas at the moment. Justinacott.
And I had
Are
brought
you?
up Las Vegas because this
Yeah.
story is a repetitive story that seems to happen over and over again. The significance is with this, with 4th of July, how close this is to Washington, D.C. And this goes into the core wounding for those just joining between the masculine and feminine that feeds into that core wounding of forced breeder programs, of the hybridization of when the masculine and feminine, when even the fallen angels, when the women were forced to mate with Dracos.
Yeah,
it all is part of that draconian energetic that's in that John Smith, that negative fallen entity that's in there.
100%. And you're picking up on that because when I'm looking at this man, John Smith, he's an older gentleman, and he's wearing the white wig. He's in one of those sort of like
pedophilia. It's again pedophilia.
It's pedophilia. She's 13 years old.
Yes.
She's 13 years old. This is the core origin, but the core hurt there is the betrayal.
And it's
by
sex,
the Native
slavery. It's all these things. It's all this like ownership of the feminine, rape, pillage, and plunder of the child, of the land, of all of it. So it's disrespecting the land and disrespecting the divine feminine and disrespecting 100%. The divine child.
100%. But what I find is
run amok.
And it's not just patriarchy from the English. It's patriarchy with the Native Americans too, because this man,
they were
this man is an uncle, and he's upset because she's seen as a traitor, betrayal. Right. It's not her fault. She's 13 years old.
Exactly.
She's sitting on the lap. This is the vision I get of John Smith, and he's older. I'm talking 45. He's about that age, 50 even. Do we even know the age of John Smith? Like, that's the age, right? And he's going, come on, sit on my lap, right? To this young girl who's making these cute little, like, bone images of little bears and things that she's trading, right? So she's just getting hit all over. She gets kidnapped and taken by this man, John Smith, and then she's hated by her tribe, and that's her uncle. It's just like, it's really unfair. So then she has to go and choose, because she's been basically, like I want to say blacklisted, but she's been, what's the word? There's a word here. It's just betrayal. She's got a mark on her, right? It's like, I want to say with, in other cultures, it's like an honor. They do like she's dishonored, right? Is the word. Yeah, dishonored. It's not her fault. She's just a young girl, but because she's been dishonored and shunned from her tribe, that's in the land. So she has to choose. She now has to choose. She has no choice, the poor young woman. She's 13 old. She's not, this is the origin. It's horrific of what's in those marshlands and what's in the river. Okay.
She is so like cattle to them. She's a commodity. Yeah. I pulled another rune. So to her, she is like cattle.
Oh my God, I got goosebumps going all the way through me. Yeah, God bumps. Yeah.
That's how women were.
Yep, and that's it. And this is the origin. And from that foundation, so you got cards, right? A whole bunch of cards. This is the building up of the US, right? The foundation is this. So exactly. This is the part that needs the clearing, because, we can go into, and I probably can't say it publicly, but you know what I'm talking about, HT, human that sort of thing, right? And the issues that we have in our modern day about that, right? So that image now is making a lot more sense, right? I couldn't figure out if this was, I couldn't figure it out until now who this was. And you can see it's a woman by her hips and how young she is. Okay. So let's go and
reverse
look,
the spin right now of this. We're allowed to
do we
clear
need
this
it?
Vesica Pisces implant. We're allowed to clear this
Yeah.
and bring in a tri-wave, bring in unity consciousness between
Uh-huh.
divine father, divine mother, and divine child,
Yeah.
which is a tri-wave instead of a bi-wave that is like
Uh-huh.
two loops spinning. It's a false geometry. It's not a sacred geometry. So we need to clear that Vesica Pisces, that Mobius strip. We need to clear the particle level of the, the electron and the proton, which is the,
okay.
how magnetic
Beautiful.
force and how electrical force work together.
Yeah.
Because that's in the grids.
That's right, Aussie Angie. It's a continuance of HT and it has to be broken and cleared. Yeah. And Terry B's mentioned the word, I don't know if we can say PDF.
I already said that word.
And grape. We've got to
said that word.
Okay, well, we've got to kind of watch our words. This is our first show, so we've got to kind of.
We don't have that many viewers yet, but we got to watch our when it
we've
gets
got to
popular,
watch it so it doesn't get cut down.
We got to come up with code words. We're going to start working on finding code words.
PDF is, we understand,
PDF,
and grape, that's what people generally. Okay, so I've got like a rainbow serpent rock from Australia, which is rainbows are beautiful healing energy, right? That we use traditionally here. And it is for the rest of the rest of the world too. The rainbow is everyone's. It's not just one person's flag. It's everyone's flag. I just want to say the rainbow is everyone's, right? Okay.
This is my selenite wand I'm using to clear because I'm still seeing this ectoplasma in this green goo, this this in the water. So what I'm seeing for the water that needs to happen is the plasma light codes of the aurora borealis and the frequency of the water that I saw in the Bahamas, which would be considered the side of Cathedral 1 that is not compromised. When I did the cruises over in it's called Half Moon Cay, and the frequency of that water was like a shimmery, the sky was turning pink and there was like this shimmery, almost golden light frequency, almost like soap bubbles. Okay, like this.
I like that, and that's a nice visual for people to follow.
Like soap bubble type of frequency of like pink, like iridescent, like pink, almost like shimmery gold, silver, blue on this water, turquoise that was like shimmering on this. Let's see that kind of energetic coming in from the Atlantic Ocean, going from the reverse.
Visualize, everyone.
Clearing water up into the Potomac River to clear the Potomac River all the way up into Washington, D.C.
Okay, so everyone working in the live here, we're all working on this together. You don't have to be there. You can be there in spirit, okay? So visualizing from the Atlantic Ocean, all those beautiful gold bubbles that Missy's talking about, and bringing it up the river. And even if you don't know what it looks like, there's a lot of light now coming, and we've got the tree and all the elements in nature and the Native American spirits helping us, and we're going up that river. I like to breathe through it because there's a lot of density here.
Here's
going into the marshlands. There's a lot of bodies there, you're right. There's a lot of bones in the ground from the wars and civil wars that you mentioned too. And tribal warring, because tribes were pitted against each other, is what I'm hearing. And you can see that going up like that. Yeah, I got that visual too when I went there, that left bend and going up. Yeah. So visualize, everyone. And I can see Angie and Spirit and a few other people there. Hi, Wizard Witkus.
Hi, Wizard Witkus. Also, the Appalachian Trail and the Blue Ridge Parkway is not that far from here, because when I went and looked at this, I put in, of course, the Potomac River and the Chesapeake Bay. So again, it goes from the Potomac River that drops into the Chesapeake Bay, that drops into the Atlantic Ocean. And you have
and this is people's drinking water, isn't it? Is it people's drinking water in the Chesapeake Bay?
No, the Potomac River is.
Potomac. So it is people's drinking water in the Potomac River. So that's being ingested. Okay, so we really need to clear this, guys. So this is a global grid investigation, but we wouldn't be able to do it without everyone watching and helping in the live as well.
So you can see, like, here's Gettysburg on the map. See, we didn't have time to upload these because we're still new at this.
Yeah.
And I'm not doing this on a computer. I'm doing this on an iPad. So can you see that?
Yeah.
I know there's a glare, but I'm trying to show you that above it is Gettysburg.
Well, because Baltimore
is above Washington.
Yeah. So this is like, when we do this is like ceremony. So in the astral, we're all there together, and we're being guided to actually, you know, so they don't really, they can,
I'll tell the story of what happened to Manassas. I did tell this when I did the workshop with Gina years ago, when Ron and I were in the truck. We went to Barnes & Noble to go to Starbucks, and we wanted to go for a walk. And behind it was a hiking trail. And we found ourselves, we didn't even know we were in Manassas National Park, standing on a mass grave. And then I started to see the soldiers walking around. And when we came back to Starbucks in the Barnes & Noble again, Ron opened to the very page, which was that battle, that where we were standing.
Yeah.
So that whole area is loaded with a lot of history and needs a lot of clearing.
It does. So all of us can do it together. So let's do it. So we've got all the bubbles. We've got everyone helping us. I like to have rainbow bubbles, actually. Rainbows are a really powerful healer. So rainbow bubbles going up through the river. We're all going together. I can see a whole bunch of us there, actually. And we're clearing. And we actually got to send some souls and energies to the light, actually. So this is Valkyries. So angelics. We're going to call in the angelics. Here we go. Yeah. Calling in angelic energies of the Creator. And lifting all the souls out of the fields and out of the marshlands and up into the light. There's a lot. And we've got Native American as well. This is a mass clearing. There's thousands. Oh my God, there's so many soldiers. And different soldiers. It's not just one war. It's not civil war. There's other wars too.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Like is there a Revolutionary
War? Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm hearing. So and I can.
That was before the Civil War. I'm also getting something about the fish, that the fish need a clearing. There's a lot of bass there. There's blue catfish. There's the northern snakehead smallmouth bass and a migratory striped bass. So all these fish need a clearing because of stuff that they've ingested from being in that water.
So many soldiers and of different eras and bayonets, and they're all walking into the light. And you could say it may not be the souls, but it's the energetic crux, the thought form energies in that land as well, you know. So we're undoing, it's like an old record keeping. So we're wiping and erasing the old records. Yeah. So visualizing them all as we're going further and further inland. And the river there, it's on the left of the river, has a lot of it. The left side, inland, has a lot. A battlefield, huge.
The largest Revolutionary War battle in Maryland was the Battle of St. George in 1776, located where the Potomac River meets the Chesapeake Bay. Also, that it connects in with, King George, all these like king energy, false king of tyranny energy that has to be cleared.
And I can see I'm wearing red today for some reason, but I can see a lot of
Yes,
soldiers in red.
red
Is there
coats.
uniforms are red?
Yeah, red coats.
Yeah, yeah. And I can see different eras. So we've got even blue uniforms after. So there's like
Yes,
layers here. But we go further back and there's tribal skirmishes as well, because different American Indians are sided with different sides, if that makes sense. Yeah? Yeah, that's it.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's
we're
the
going
British
way
soldiers.
back.
Yep, British.
Red and
Hmm.
blue. Yeah,
Yep.
so Angie, I can actually see Angie there in the astral. Angie's a
Woo!
friend of mine. You know, Angie, she's thanks for turning up, guys. I can see all of us are doing the work there. It's so
Yeah,
fantastic. So we're soldiers of light, you know. We really are,
yeah.
you know.
Mm. Mm.
Okay, so let's go in, just clearing, still bringing light in. Another soldier's here. Blue as well, and with the big hat. So we have one side
Yes,
with red, and is the other side wearing blue?
yes,
He's got a hat too. Are they
yeah.
French? Is there
Blue.
French people? Is there French fighting
There
too?
was also French, yeah.
This man's French that I'm getting because
But
he's
that was
speak
George Washington was the blue coats. These were our
right.
now the ones that were fighting the ones that
Mm.
were fighting against the red coats, which were the
Uh-huh.
British. You're thinking the French and Indian War, which goes further back. Let me look at that. When
Well,
was
he's
that?
just come forward, so it's just as we're working, we're getting different spirits come in, and you know, telling us he's definitely French. Look at his shoes, and
That
he's wearing
was
these like
French and Indian War
stockings, like
was a
black
conflict
things, and
with North America between Great Britain and France, and those dates were 1754 to 1763. So that was
yeah.
before. That's before Pocahontas, I think. Wait, what? No, maybe not. No,
No,
we that
Pocahontas
tree
is
was.
like 1600.
Oh yeah,
So
that's right.
wait,
Yeah, because that was
yeah,
before this. Yeah,
uh-huh.
because that tree was 422 years old.
Okay, that's beautiful. That's clearing. Got a lot. They're all speaking French. Got a lot of French. So this it can be. I love it because you're historically verifying what I'm clairvoyantly picking up on. I love it. You know, I've always wanted to work with someone who does the historical side, but is intuitive, right? And then
Exactly.
you know, it's just brilliant. So let's bring in a lot of light, guys, and I can see feathers, two white feathers. I want to bring a white feather in, but I was looking for my white feather. I can't find it, but I'm just going to bring one in
See,
from
the
spirit.
Potomac River was a strategic point. That's why. During the French and Indian War, the Potomac River corridor served as a strategic frontier as a primary supply line for the
Right.
British and colonial forces. You know the word birth is birth, the ship, the money
Yeah.
system, the currency, the
Uh-huh.
maritime law. I'm getting chills. You got to clear
Yeah.
all that maritime law.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. I look what it's based upon. I also see in the background the Native American tribal elders and people. They're, as I'm lighting the sage, they're also lighting and I can actually hear them. There's a regret because it should never have happened, is what I'm hearing. They should never have sent her and dishonored her because it wasn't her fault, is what I'm hearing. It was just what we understood, is what I'm hearing. It's just what we understood at the time. So we're looking at a different kind of thinking back then, and you know that's getting cleared. I can see a lot of smoke, and I can see a teepee up. This is really powerful, Missy, and
Now, this,
amazing.
Amiran, this is with the French and Indian Wars called the Battle of Troy, which was
Yeah.
March or April of 1756, which was a skirmish of the early French and Indian War. that fought
Right.
between the Native Americans and the Anglo-American settlers in the valley of the South Branch of the Potomac River, which is now in Hardy County, West Virginia. And you know what I was getting about West Virginia, I told you about, was the whole thing with the Mothman and,
Yeah.
you know, all those later on in the 1900s, all the mental institutions that popped
I
up.
love
And I
this.
happened
It's
to
so
go
good.
to
I
that,
love
that
this. This is so fantastic.
that
Yeah.
Trans-Allegheny Lunatic Asylum, which was about, and we have one in Asheville, which is the Appalachian Hall, which they would do mental experiments. They say, oh yeah, this was for mental patients, but it was actually mental experimentation with frontal lobotomies,
It's
with
just so
the
dark.
electrodes, and with waterboarding, you know, like with drowning people and all this stuff. And I used to tell the story of the people that escaped from that place, which was actually a hotel for a while in Asheville. It was actually,
oh my God, I can't imagine having an overnight stay at that hotel.
It was, well, now
I wouldn't
it's
get one night's sleep. I wouldn't get one night's
apartment.
sleep.
It was called the Kenilworth Inn. It was built as an inn, and then there was World War I, and then during World War II, it was used as a naval convalescence hospital, and then after that, it was bought by the Griffin brothers, who were doctors who did this mental stuff. And I think it was till like 2000, and now it's apartments. And supposedly the apartments are haunted. Because the guy that originally investigated it said there was a guy that killed himself bashing his head against the wall.
God.
So if you've ever been in one of those places, and I was in West Virginia, it made me sick. I didn't even do the tour. I just went in the free part. And because it was so hot and humid too, which amplified it, it made me sick. So we want to clear all those kind of places that are actually energetically connected to this other green goo and all this death energy, because that's like holding a frequency in the hospital. And if you pick up the smells, I'm getting the taste in my mouth.
Okay. Well, don't tune into it too much, because we can put an elevator there. It's a heaven elevator, right?
Okay.
So it's an elevator to heaven. So just visualizing a gold elevator, plop it in the middle of that place, and there's a little, you press a button, it says heaven, and then we've got an angel, Shamuel, who seems to work with me with the elevator. And he's this is like the TARDIS elevator, so many people can go inside this elevator, right? So taking all those lost souls into the golden heaven elevator, and Shamuel's there, and all the lost souls, they're going into the elevator, and when there's enough people, they're still going in. There's a few more. And we've got some nurses from Spirit that are coming into, and closing the door and pressing heaven, the button, and up they go. I can hear a cheer, like everyone's clapping. Yay! Inside the elevator. So exactly as you mentioned that, and you would feel that lift. You don't have that feeling in the lips anymore. Yeah, Missy?
No.
So that lift now, it's gone up. That's how simple it is to clear a place. You just have to have the, the right way to go about it. Oh, wow. Crystals.
Yes, I have one like that too. This one was called,
and it's interesting that you're pointing that out,
because I got this before I went to Puerto Rico, but because it has the word liberty in its name, and I have the same crystal as you, same type.
This is great. So interesting that we're bringing the quartz crystal in. So the quartz crystal is like the elevator, and it's going to be placed there metaphysically. So we're actually going to call that work with the crystal crystalline grid is what I'm hearing, right? So we
Exactly.
cleared
That's
it.
what I'm hearing. I'm hearing.
Okay, so now this is why we both picked it up at the same time, right? So
Yeah.
this is what spirit
And
works
then
in
it's
very
our
mysterious
crystalline
ways.
mind. It's the crystalline mind. It's the higher
Yeah.
mind of you know.
So now that
crystal.
we've cleared, so this is what we do. We clear that energy with the lift, right? And all the souls. And now we place the crystalline grid. Or we ask the earth, the trees, the rocks, the water there to place the crystalline grid over the whole area is what I'm getting. So this is activating. So now that we've cleared a lot of the area, is there anything else that needs to be cleared? The rocks and the trees.
And the energy of
and
the
the
mountain
water.
lions coming in to help.
Yeah.
The cougar
And we
or
got
the mountain lion.
Fantastic. So we're bringing in the presence of a powerful protector, a powerful animal. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, me too. I also feel the elk. I like to connect a lot with the elk. I'll find an elk card in here because I just feel the elk. I feel their presence.
I actually heard the term draining the swamp.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah.
And
the swamp.
And the energy's moving out into the sea because the sea, actually, the ocean, the Atlantic Ocean wants to help with this. So the energy's going out into the salt water, into the ocean, and it's being lifted up and out as we're clearing. Good work, everyone. I can see a whole bunch of people. Wizard Wickers, are you there? I can see you in your cloak. We've seen each other a few times in spirit. Fantastic work. Bringing in the crystalline fifth-dimensional grid of the planet and placing that over the area now. And we're going through the color, the rainbow. Actually, I can see the rainbow. There's pink, there's red, there's yellow, there's orange, there's purple, there's green, orange. Oh, it's really nice. Vibration is lifting.
Also, the energy of the bear is coming in. The bear.
It's a big area to clear. I mean, to be honest, this is quite a large area. Usually I'm working on like very specific points, but because we've got so many people, and thanks Angie, she says she's called in the galactics.
Just mainly focus on the water, and then the land needs it too, but we're focusing mostly on the water. Yeah, there's the story of the land around, but that water body be cleared.
Yeah. Let's talk to the water spirit now. So talking to the water element, and what does the water element wants to say? It's a very feminine energy, and she's saying visualize like rapids. She wants you to visualize, because we visualize bubbles, right, in the beginning, and she's saying we need like you to visualize rapids, like churning energy of the water, because it's got to churn it up, right? And then she's taking me down to the bottom of the lake, and she's showing me the old it looks like spearheads and tomahawks, and now I'm getting shown like pilgrims in horseback, and what are those things that they call like the tents on the back of, like I forgot the words.
The wagon train, yeah.
Wagon train, like, and big wagon wheels. She's showing me that big wagon wheel just went over the top. There's a lot of people that come in and go over that river, and the trajectory of the river, because of all the wagons and everything going over the top of it, it changes the foundations and the edges of the river is what I'm hearing. Okay. Just visualizing the fifth dimensional grid and the churning up, as the river spirit has said, visualizing churning of that old energy going through all the river, all the way to the bay. So from the Atlantic Ocean all the way up in that big kind of an S bend all the way to the bay. Churning.
This is called Dead Run. I don't like the name Dead Run, but it's a waterfall that feeds into the Potomac River.
Yeah.
Near DC.
Okay. There's that rapids and the churning of the water. So getting all of that. And I'm actually getting the image of a swan. And when I visualize this, it's the frequency of grace.
Yes.
So to counteract that divine betrayal of the divine, the masculine and feminine out of balance, we need to bring in the frequency of grace, which is coming through with the swan. So we've got the churning of that river, but now we've got a swan like floating over the top of that river and bringing in the frequency of grace.
Scott Run Falls, another waterfall. So see these waterfalls cleansing the Potomac River, and also see the sky grids. Talk to the sky grids to clear the sky of all geoengineering chemtrails that causes the rains. So clear so that there's a pristine rain that comes down. Actually, the whole east needs rain right now because it's in a drought. So we want a pristine rain. So we talk to the water.
I can hear
in the
Native
sky.
American in a powwow dancing.
I did a rain dance. Yes, I've been doing a rain. The river it is flowing, and connect to the rain. Yes.
And I can see the original tribes because we've got that energy of betrayal. But now there's 2 tribes and the English, and they're all coming into a tent and they're all shaking hands. And it's like forging strong bonds. I can see, this is interesting, the way that their elbows and arms are going in with each other. And I don't know whether this is what the American Indians did back then. It's like linking elbows and arms, if that makes any sense. Like
clear some coyote and trickster energy, using the proper use of the coyote energy, because that can be a negative.
Positive. Yeah. Yeah. So clearing betrayal, trickery, exactly what we talked about in the beginning with Pocahontas and John Smith, and the betrayal of that they sent towards Pocahontas, like clearing all of that and bringing that into light. And it feels like to me like a trade agreement. It's like an agreement energy, like it feels positive now. It feels very like that in the very beginning when you said that deer energy, was it the elk? Like elk is very like grounded. It's not a really big energy. It's not like a ferocious energy, but it's very grounded, peaceful and graceful and neutral, if that makes sense. Missy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Very good. This is good work.
The porcupine energy is a delicate balance between vulnerability and strong boundaries. And I actually pulled that card twice. Respect. There needs to be respect, mutual respect between the masculine and feminine, and respect of the land. The land was clear cut. That's another issue. That's why there might be one tree that's 422 years old, but this area had the first forestry school. Okay, so actually George Vanderbilt did good by having the first forestry school brought to Western North Carolina with a man named Robert Schenck that came from Germany, because of the clear cut. And there's no
amazing tree. We're both visualizing, because I visualized the tree as well, so the trees come back in. You're pretty on point, like as I'm visualizing in the astral,
and
you're saying
these ancient trees talk to each other because of the mycelium network.
Mycelium.
Just like Avatar, just like in the movie Avatar, how underneath and it connects
so
into
like I can feel like forest, just the word. So visualizing the whole place even though it's not covered in forest, it feels like forest. I want to visualize the whole forest back. So we're going back in
bring
time.
gnomes and the fairies and
Yeah.
all those,
The elementals.
sprites,
Yeah.
the elemental energies. Yes.
Thank you, all the elements, for working with us and helping to clear the land and bringing it back into balance. So we're bringing it back into Sophia and Christos balance, but masculine and feminine in balance. I can hear the word draining the swamp again. They keep on saying it, drain, and you hear that word a lot, but it's not used in this sort of context, but it's perfect. It's absolutely perfect. Dark to light. The grids are shifting as we're working with it. And there's like a turtle and like a grandmother turtle energies.
Yeah, I was going to bring in the turtle before, the sea turtle, as well as the dog. Yes.
And it reminds me of the Never-Ending Story with a lady who's the old turtle lady, and she's just come in. So this is the primordial energy of the land. Like literally it's called Turtle Island, right?
Yeah.
By the Native Americans. And that turtle energy, as we put the forest in, came in. This old wise lady of turtle. She's coming in. I wonder what she wants to say. She just wants to be acknowledged. She just said, me. Me.
Thank you for drumming, Wizard Witkus.
Me, she says. Yes, we acknowledge you, great grandmother turtle, the primordial spirit of the land there. We acknowledge you. And you can help us bring this into balance, and thank you for bringing it into balance. She says, I'm tired. She's tired of all of it, of what they brought, all the battles and the blood and the hurt and the pain and the betrayal. And so how may we help you? How may we? You are doing it, she says. I feel like I'm going into old lady turtle telepathing with her. She's very happy that we are doing it. There are not many that want to help out the great land here. But she hears it from the trees that we are doing the work here. So this is like Mother Gaia. This is Mother Gaia. Through our acknowledgement, she is acknowledging us. And she says, you are correct. It is about respect. And respect for her. See, when the Native Americans did the powwow and they would stomp on her land, they were acknowledging her. And she hasn't been acknowledged for a very long time. And she understands that this is a great shift towards wholeness. And she is really looking forward to shedding this skin.
And connect with this spring. There's a blue spring in Maryland here, because I'm seeing the underground aquifer waters coming up, also bubbling up from underneath, coming out.
Wow.
Clear all the tributaries. So it's the river and its tributaries that feed into these springs, and all these springs, actually, a lot of them end up down in Florida.
Yeah.
Because it's all coming from underneath and even into the Yucatan and things.
Yeah. Yucatan.
And it comes from the internal, eternal realms of creation.
She's showing me like the machine. So we've got the water, and then we've got this like machine. She's showing me like an old bike, but that's how she sees the machine. It's like a rotting bike in the land, like rusted old bike. But she's saying that the data centers is what I'm hearing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness. They will rot and rust, is what I'm hearing. Everything, or anything and everything always returns to the mother, returns back into the earth like compost. And the people have spoken, is what I'm hearing. The people have spoken. And we are Earth's allies. What will you do if you do not have anything to eat and drink and cut down? What is left? Nothing. So we're clearing games as well, political games, corruption, betrayal. Yeah. This is what she sees, these silly games that people play. She wants us to see the data centers like rusting like old bikes, going into the marshes. What will you do if you do not drink and eat? Everything comes from the mother. Everything comes from the earth. And congratulations, she's saying to everyone who's been helping. And I can see in this ceremonial place that we've gone into clearing this area, is everyone's kind of patting each other on the backs. Wizard Wickers, Aussie Angie, and I can see everyone kind of congratulating each other. Very good work. Good job.
Great job.
It's been felt and acknowledged by the great mother. Yeah. It's like now I'm getting this sweeping energy of like going from the middle of the land out to the Atlantic Ocean. Like, and now we've got like a sweeping of like a broom.
Yeah, I'm seeing that hawk is ready to start flying back. Actually, go ahead. I'm seeing it as a hawk now. So we've done an initial clearing, and that hawk is ready to go, take one last look at the whole area around the Potomac River, which is, actually 39 miles from the Washington Monument. So as a bird, it doesn't take that long. So it's seen the Washington Monument. It's seen where Abraham Lincoln's monument is, all these different things. And now going through the Potomac River and the Chesapeake Bay, back to the Atlantic Ocean, flying over the Atlantic Ocean, wants to come back over to Mount Mitchell, because I want to share the story about Mount Mitchell of what came to me in 2012 initially, as you're landing to the top of Mount Mitchell again, which was that original picture that I had that we saw at the beginning, where I'm standing at 6,684 feet, where I'm supposed to go today. In 2012, when I worked the Star Knowledge Conference, which was, again, Native American, Chief Golden Light Eagle, Blue Star Eagle, where I first met Laura Eisenhower. And the gal that I'm going to be doing that mission tomorrow at the Center for Spiritual Living, her name's Wendy Owens. I saw that Mount Mitchell, because of the magnetics within the mountain, was holding timeline memories of all kinds of divide. It's on the Continental Divide. So it was holding the divide between the masculine and feminine, light and dark, good and bad, right and wrong, left and right, the red coats, the blue coats.
Oh my goodness, I just love it.
The Civil War, the Revolutionary War, race wars between like black and white, Native American, everything that's a this or that, an up and down, all polarization.
I love what we've done here. We're really bringing it into balance.
That timeline memory, and that memory started to actually clear when the obelisk was, even though I'd worked on it for years, when the obelisk actually came down, you know, on the, it came down because of those
Sorry,
different
it's lagging a little bit.
during
Yeah.
the pandemics. It came down,
Yeah.
but on the higher level, it actually needed to come down to scramble the frequency so it could not broadcast to Mount Mitchell anymore, these negative codes, because these obelisks are holding certain
Yes.
in the grid. Okay. Sometimes when you remove them, though, you know, it's sort of like Jenga or like wiggling a tooth, because if you don't want to wiggle that tooth and have it bleed out too much, you know, and there's a timing for everything, because if you do too much, sometimes it upsets the grids, which causes the telluric to cause earthquakes. And, you know, we know what they're doing under the ground. So I just want to share that about Mount Mitchell. So now as you hear that, that bird can descend back, you know, kind of hover with that orb about 3.5 feet above your head, which is the 14th chakra. Seal that 14th chakra with golden light, golden frequencies. Bring that blue ice from like an ice cave down, the blue ice frequencies, the pink infra pink from the earth's core, mix them together for that, like a lavender silvery. Just seal your field in this and bring this orb plasma self back into your body, and just feel grounded. Feel your sit bones wherever you are. Just feel your sit bones. Maybe stick your tongue to the roof of your mouth and do some deep breaths, like some inhale.
Felt like we got to go ring.
Anybody has any comments or questions, go ahead and drop them into the chat now. Let us know how you're feeling, what your experience is.
Feels so good. It's really nice. It's brought it back into balance. And I think it's absolutely perfect timing.
Yes.
4th of July. 4th of July is coming soon.
Exactly. Thank you, Tiffany, again for bringing this to our attention.
Yeah, it's actually a perfect place, being the foundational place of Americana.
Yeah.
Of the US.
Yeah.
It's, you know, and it's just amazing, like, you know, the image that came in and just how much is in that image. And then that's the origin of what the foundation's based upon. And then everything up from there. And then I love that you've got the historical background too, because I'm seeing these French and I'm like, what is that about? You know, and they're like, hey, and you're like, yep, okay, yep, verified. I've always wanted to work with like a historian to verify the clairvoyance, and it's perfect.
Yeah,
I think we work well together.
Always started with the intuitive, but then as I started to travel, I wanted to know, so I started looking it up. And when I started actually being a tour guide, I had to have the factual historical evidence too. You know,
absolutely.
Yeah, this has been great. Okay. I've really enjoyed this, and I think, what are the comments saying? Oh, cool.
Such a privilege to do a healing work on behalf of Mother Earth. Absolutely. Thank you so much. You know, and everyone in the comments is also a part of this too.
Exactly.
You know?
Right. Yes.
And I could see people there. I could see everyone in the astral, in that ceremonial place with the tree that we started off with, that
Yes.
beautiful 425-year-old tree, and the light that was coming out, and all of us like rainbow, all of us holding hands and working together. I could see Angie going up the river, you know. And look, Jay Skyrunner says, Earth gave the call and we are here. Absolutely. That's true. Yeah. We're just, you know, allies of Mother Earth, and we're here to do some work, and it's very, very necessary. So with this image, I'll probably burn this, you know, just to clear it a bit more, actually.
Yeah,
after
that's
this.
a good thing to do, is have a burn ceremony. Maybe we'll incorporate that next time. I didn't even think of that too, because this is our first time, so it's going to evolve as because I had more rocks that I wanted to bring in, but I left them in the other room. And I have the element of water here, so I've been working with the water as I've been drinking the water.
Yeah, right.
I wanted to go up to Mount Mitchell and get the water up there, but it didn't happen. So, but it rained.
Yeah, but you know, but we're working with the water element very closely, and how she said we need visualize the churning of the water. So she's giving us direction. We're just following suit, you know. Because she knows the best way. It was very interesting about the arrowheads and the I couldn't figure out what I see the visual, like the country and western movies with the horse and the wagon, but it's not something I say very often. So I'm like, what's the big tent on the back of the thing with the wheels? Wagon. Yeah, that was very interesting how she said that all the wagons going through decimated the river as well. And that was important, because it's like, you know, urbanization, really, isn't it?
And the logging was not good.
The logging. There's this, and that's why the tree said, visualize all the forest, reforested now. And so that energy is going to affect the grid lines. And you will have, and this is what I'm actually seeing now, there's actually people who have heard the call to stop the cutting down of the trees as well, because there's not many left, if any, you know. And I can feel that, you know, push in Parliament and places like that, you know, that it has to be put into law to stop the cutting down of trees and old growth forests. Yeah. It says, what, twisting of the water like the water dragon. Yes, the dragon. Did we bring the dragon in?
No, I've got my dragon cards. Let me pull one.
So Wizard says, what I work with is golden particles from the void and guide them into physicality through the center point of the heart. Brilliant. Really good. I see you press that button. We're still very new at this, guys. So what button are you pushing?
Into what I was doing. This is the card that fell out that says Golden Christed Dragon brings you higher love so that you embody the Christ light, absorb the Christ light, you are protected, expand your heart, and remain fifth dimensional.
And it feels to me like the positive masculine, right?
Yes.
Positive masculine.
That's what we want, is the positive
and
masculine.
Positive feminine, but the positive masculine, because we had the negative masculine and feminine here, you know.
Right.
So I've got the shamanic cards. I might as well pull a card too, just at the end here. And I can hear in my mind ley lines. Yeah. And it's confirming what we just talked about. The negative was anger. And that there's that energy there. And the betrayal and anger that we've cleared. We cleared this in the ley lines, guys.
Yes.
Yeah. Anger, the anger at the feminine, you know.
Here's another masculine.
So we're bringing in positive.
This is the Alpha Dragon. Harness the divine masculine power of creation. Destroy the old. Visualize your dream and help manifest a new world.
Yeah. And this is what we're doing. It's absolutely confirming. Isn't it amazing that the cards are confirming what we're talking about?
Exactly.
It's incredible. Yeah. Okay. Does it feel like a rap?
I was, actually I had the same words come to me. This is feeling like a rap. That was exactly what I was going to say.
We're working in unison. See, the spirit world is working with us.
The same, because just a few days ago your hair was pink.
Yeah, I know. I know. I went through a pink phase, but it's still slightly pink in parts, but I like my blonde back,
Yeah.
I wanted a little bit of change. I didn't know what happened there. It was only after I done my hair pink, because I think I was like subconsciously looking at your hair and admiring the pink, and then I went and did it. Oh my God. So for Tennessee, Kentucky, who said that we're part of a pink cult, that's not true.
What does Terry say? Maybe you can read it better than me.
Terry says, months ago I was woken up by a deep voice saying it's time to rise up, my love, to the sun. Yes. It's beautiful. And Wizard says it looked good. We are going to bring, what does J Sky Runner say? We're going to bring back the ley line maps in the sky. Yeah. Oh, you're pressing on the button. We're all very new at this, very techie. I do like that we got the background going, That feels like a really nice wrap, guys.
Yes,
I think good work.
So. I think we did.
And it feels
great.
I think we also benefit.
Drop it in the comments where you think our next mission should be, or maybe not.
That's a good idea.
Where you feel needs some work.
Yeah, everywhere on the planet.
Everywhere. Well, where you're drawn to. I'm already getting the West Coast of the United States and heading over your way after what I saw.
Yeah.
Because I saw years ago a connection between the Statue of Liberty and Mount Shasta, and something to do with Las Vegas, Rachel, Nevada, Area 51, connecting into Catalina Island, and a ley line going down towards Brisbane, Australia.
Yeah, and just
to do
with
the black cube.
Yeah, so we're not doing dumbs or anything like that, guys. Just
no dumbs. No, we can know where they are, but we're not going to look at them. Okay.
No, we're not looking
where they are. We can say here is a thing, but you look at it. We're not going to do it on here.
Yeah, just for protection, safety, and all of that jazz.
So we've got the Island. Significance of that is the elongated skulls are there, like they found in Paracas, Peru. That's my interest in that.
Wow. So that'll come up anyway when we're doing a clearing. You'll have the layers come up as we go along. What's this? Psionic, terraforming it into its proper state. Yeah, absolutely. When I worked with the whales and dolphins a couple of years ago, they were after the Fukushima disaster and out of Japan, a lot of the sea kelp was being destroyed. So the whales said to me, all you need to do is visualize new sea kelp growing. Yes. And that actually starts the amoeba and everything, and it's like it gets the notification, basically, we must start growing. That's incredible. The whales told me that.
And I took a bunch of kelp today, and I actually felt the energy of the whale, but I wasn't going to call it in. I knew it was very far north, but I was feeling it.
Wow.
Working on the turtle, and I was thinking I'm feeling the energy of the whale, but it's nowhere near where we're working, but it was further north.
Well, that's interesting that I brought it up. You know what I mean?
The humpback whale, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well,
and I know that Tiffany went to SeaWorld, and she probably connected with those animals at SeaWorld.
Right. Yeah, well, they have psionic abilities. They have dolphins. They're incredible. Absolutely. They're not from here too. Originally, they're from somewhere else. That's what I got told in a telepathic channeling with them a couple of years ago. I don't know if that video got deleted. It probably did. Yeah.
And people that do feel bad that some of them are in places like that, They actually have told me they have contracts to be at some of these places like SeaWorld, because humans would have no exposure or contact with them at all if they never went to a place like SeaWorld. So they've agreed on a soul level that they're choosing to be there to work with humans. I've had people say, why do you go to
that
zoos?
makes a lot of sense.
I don't agree with zoos. Well, one time I was at a place where a grizzly bear was telling me, well, hey, I'd rather work for nuts. It's a lot easier than having to hunt. If I can get my picture taken, I don't care. You work for money. He's like, he had a concept of money, and he said, you work for money. Why do you care what I work for?
That's so fascinating. I was just before I got on here, I was looking at a picture that someone put up of a grizzly bear chasing this woman and dog, and all I just got from the bear was that he was just really hungry.
Yeah.
You know, because of, you know, urbanization and all of that, and going into these forested areas, you know, it stops the natural hunting grounds for the
they
bear.
say it's a lot of work, and this guy that I connected with, he was kind of lazy. He was just lazy, and he just preferred to
lazy
not
bear.
have to work and just be posing for pictures and have the easy life.
Oh, Jay Skyrunner goes, oh my God, I had a dream about whales last night, but I cannot remember.
Really?
Yeah, how interesting that the whale topic just came in. So the whales just came in. Because remember how we said we're taking the energy out and going into the Atlantic Ocean? Yeah. So the whales have come in to acknowledge what we're doing. Isn't that incredible?
What is this one about SeaWorld and the orca? I meant the orca too. The humpback and the orca. Can you read that?
I can see. I saw the orca. I saw it's a different shaped head, right?
Yeah.
I actually saw when you were talking about them in SeaWorld, I saw the orca. It's like this, and it has a funny like that.
Yeah.
That's what I was visualizing. Occasionally at SeaWorld, you'll hear about an orca banging its head onto the concrete, because they don't want to be in prison anymore. I saw the image of the orca before. Yeah. We'll send the orca love and compassion right now. And I would rather them be sort of more in like a sea rather than chemicals and chlorine. That can't be good for them, you know, like salt water.
Oh, they're in salt water. They're not in chlorine.
They're in salt water. There's no chemicals. God. Well, that felt really good. Felt really good about that. So does anyone have any more ideas about where, I might just tune into Great Spirit and tune into what else needs clearing. I'm going right into the center of the US, actually. I mean, by the way, we can go anywhere globally, just so you guys know. But I am going back into the US, and I'm going right into the center of the US, and I don't know what's there. I feel like, is it the Grand Canyon that we're doing? Grand Canyon.
The Four Corners is where you were.
Yeah.
You were in Sedona.
Yeah, I was in Sedona.
You went to the Grand Canyon,
Grand Canyon. Cherry's just written it. That's where I feel like I've gone into the center, and it is the Grand Canyon. I feel like it is the Grand Canyon. Is that correct? Yes. There is more work to do there, because I was there doing some grid work.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
and I can hear the Grand Canyon connecting with also with Lake Mead and Hoover Dam, because I felt weird portal negative things that connect to the astral and probably to that DUMB that we're not going to do.
Yeah.
In Hoover Dam.
We're just working with the land.
But what's interesting about Hoover Dam, it was in the Chevy Chase movie Vacation, and Chevy Chase was picking gum to hold it together. Did you ever see that movie?
Long time ago when I was a teenager. Yeah, I did. Everyone watched it. Chevy Chase is like, and there is a few. Is there
Vacation, a few? European Vacation, Las Vegas. I used to love all those, but I mean, there's just something about that whole Hoover Dam, because when I went over that, when I was on the road as a truck driver, I used to have dreams about Hoover Dam all the time. Like I would find myself, like Hoover Dam was something to do with SSP, and drop it in the comments if you think I'm correct. There's something with
so Wizard says there's an area of the Grand Canyon that's off limits because of all the ancient artifacts that were found there, because they do not want the public to find out about it.
That's absolutely true, because I was shown that too when I did the Great Salt Lake, when I had no sleep, that there was Egyptian mummies. And I know that when Joseph Smith from the LDS, Mormon church, made their way in the wagon train during the time of the gold rush from Chicago all the way over to Utah, he was obsessed with Egyptian mummies. And
is he the part of the Smithsonian?
Childress, get down, Arthur. Hold on a second. Arthur?
Did he start the Smithsonian Institute?
No, he started the Mormon church.
Yeah.
Arthur, get down.
This is so good working with a historical person, because I'm like pick up on stuff, and I'm like, what? How does this verify this, please?
And David Hatcher Childress always said, if you know who he is, he's been on Ancient Aliens, with Giorgio Tsoukalos, his hair. He always said that the waters were a way of travel, not a barrier. So they found Egyptian artifacts on the Mississippi River in southern Illinois, Olmec stuff. Yeah, so there's all kinds of artifacts that they don't want us to know that they're in these places. Arthur, get down.
And look, because our intention is to help clear that those artifacts may not come up to clear. They're just kind of a part of the knowledge or intelligence of the area. But what we'll be focusing on is, the density, and that usually, just like that image, it will come in as one sort of image. Hi, Arthur. Oh, hey.
He's a wild man. He's a wild man.
He's got it, because it's all the energy. He's like a bit skitsy, isn't he? He's skitzing out.
He is.
Hey.
He was asleep through it, and then when we're done, all of a sudden, oh, that's my Ron. That's my husband.
We don't have whales here, but the dolphins off the coast of... Who's that? Is that yours?
My husband.
Oh, hi, Ronald. Ronald Hill.
We don't have whales here, but the dolphins off the coast of South Carolina refer to humans as sandwalkers. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Wizard Witness says, thank you, Rohan.
I met David Hatcher years ago at the Adventures. This is what Wizard's saying.
I met David Hatcher years ago at the Adventures Untitled bookstore in Kempton, Illinois. Oh, how cool. Cool.
Oh, look, I'm really enjoying this. I think this is a great idea that we started this,
because somebody bring up where we should do next. I mean, you're saying the Grand Canyon. I think next time the West Coast, and then we'll see how it evolves, what people want to do. But I'm feeling that whole, like I said,
we're about in the West Coast. I mean, they've just recently
when I say
had
the West Coast, I'm saying
earthquake.
It can be the Grand Canyon, going from Sedona, Grand Canyon, all the way over to Rachel, Nevada, Area 51 in Las Vegas, and Catalina Island. This ley line.
I know. The whole place needs to be done. We'll just a bit more contained.
That line and how it goes into Brisbane. There's a line that goes from Brisbane up that I saw that ends up right in Area 51.
Is it a bit lagging on here? The internet, I think, is a bit lagging. Does it show? No.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Okay. All right. So we have a wrap it up then. And
this is wrap. And we could have ended 11:11, but it's 11:12. So
it's okay. Good job, guys. You've helped clear some of the grid line of the planet. There's a lot to do. We need all the light soldiers that we can get, light warriors.
And I don't know why this comes to say, but because of the guy that I have, that rabbi that's doing his Truman Show thing, He says, I'm doing my own Truman Show. I am the Truman Show. And if you don't see me, good morning, good afternoon, and good night.
And good night. I love it. Good afternoon, good evening, and good night. And good morning. It says the afternoon. It is the afternoon here. It's the evening there. It's actually perfect. I don't know. Can we use that as copy? Is that going to copyright us?
No, it's not. No.
It's a universal thing. Okay. Thanks, everyone.
Namaste.
Namaste.
Okay.
Bye-bye.